till standard 9. Welcome back to my channel. In the last classes we were discussing the chapter number 1 of your science. Today we are going to discuss chapter 2 of science. Is matter around us pure? Okay. So here in the last chapter we have already discussed that what is a matter, types of matter, states of matter, and what we call as a matter, which things are considered to be a matter. Now we are going to discuss that whatever the things matters present in the surrounding is pure or not. Clear? So in this chapter mainly we will be focusing on the impure ones. But let us discuss what is a pure matter. Okay. So simply the pure matters are those in which only one constituent is there or one component is there, that is simply called as the pure one. Okay. For example, what we can take? We can take gold, silver. These are some of the metals which is in the pure state. Okay. Now we have to discuss that what is the impure state. Okay, whenever we talk about the impure state, it comes to the point of mixture. Okay, by the name we are understanding that what is a mixture. Mixture means mixing something, mixed substances, isn't it? So whenever we are talking about the mixture, the substance which consists more than one component in itself, more than one component in itself is called mixture. For example, air, water, etc. Clear? We know very well that in air different types of gases are there, so obviously it is a mixture of many of the gases. It is never pure. Water, hydrogen, oxygen, two things are there, so obviously here also more than one thing. That means this is also a mixture. Clear? Now there are two types of mixture. One is homogeneous and second is the heterogeneous. Okay, let us discuss what is a homogeneous mixture. Mixture in which the particles of the solute or any other substance are mixed properly, means their particles are mixed very evenly in the whole solution. Understood? Let me make you understand with an example. Like if we take salt and water, okay, so when we have mixed this salt and water in a bowl, this complete is the salty water or not? Is it happening that when you are taking one spoon of this solution, it is salty and second one is not the salty one? Is it happening? No. That means what? This salt particles have completely mixed into this. That means this is a type of homogeneous mixture. Be clear that there is a uniform distribution of the particles. What is here? Uniform distribution of particles. Okay, and whenever we talk about the second type, that is heterogeneous, it is simply non-uniform distribution of particles in a given substance. Okay, for example, if this is a tub, okay, and water is completely filled in this, and if I pour sand in it, okay, sand particles, is it mixed? Ever it will mix? No. That means these particles are never mixed in this complete substance and never will be equally distributed in all of the component, isn't it? So simply there is a non-uniform distribution. Like if we will take out some of the entity from here, so it will come only what are very very fine particles of the dust, and when we will take it out from this area, sand particles will come out. That means this is some different. So whenever there is a difference in a mixture that is heterogeneous, whenever there will be no difference created in between the particles, that is homogeneous. Clear? Next, what is the solution? Solution, by this formula we can understand that solute plus solvent gives solution. Clear? What is a solute then? The substance which is mixed. Substance which is going to be mixed. Mixed in a given cup of water or something like that. And what is a solvent? In which things in which solute is dissolved. Let me take an example. The sugar is the solute. Why? Because it is the substance which is going to be dissolved. Water is a solvent. Why? Because this is the entity in which this sugar is going to be dissolved, and then with this mixture we will get a sugar syrup, chashni. Okay, sugar syrup, okay, which will be uniformly distributed. Like whenever we are preparing that sugar syrup, chashni, okay, each of the part of this is sweet, isn't it? Each of the part of it is sweet. That means what? That sugar has uniformly distributed in the whole solution. Clear? So what we have concluded from this then? That solution is a homogeneous mixture. Clear? Let us take some other examples. That when we mix iodine with alcohol, iodine with alcohol, it gives tincture of iodine. This is very very important for your MCQs or any of the other type of questions. This is very very important in CBSE. Generally they are asking that what is tincture of iodine. So simply the mixture of iodine and alcohol is called tincture of iodine. Clear? Next is carbon dioxide plus water gives liquid solution. Okay, obviously carbon dioxide is a gas. When it is mixed in the water, that is a liquid, it will give a liquid solution, right? And which is also called as aerated drinks. What are aerated drinks? Always we are taking the sip of the soft drinks, Pepsi, Coca-Cola, etc., etc. Now songs are also coming, Coca-Cola and all. Okay, so that is why we are being suggested by the doctors also that we should never take the aerated drinks. Aerated drinks means that soft drinks. Okay, why? Because we are intaking a huge amount of carbon dioxide in the form of soft drink. Clear? Okay, so at least limit it. Now let us discuss that what are the properties of a solution. Clear? Solutions are generally homogeneous. We have discussed why. Next, very minute particles. This is not minute, this is minute. Minute means very very small particles that we cannot see with our naked eyes. Okay, we can never see these particles with our bare eyes. Next, do not show the Tyndall effect. That means the passage of the light or the scattering of the light in between these particles is not possible. Clear? That is the Tyndall effect. Next is stable. It is always stable. Why? Because the particles in it remain undisturbed. Means we cannot divide or we cannot take out the solute particles from the solvent of these type of materials or these type of substances by the method of the filtration like others do. Clear? Next we are going to discuss that what is a concentration of a solution. Concentration means what? Amount. where there is a concentration, there is a term that is amount. Okay, concentration of a solution means, just we have discussed that in a solution there are only two things, solute and solvent. So here also we will be discussing that it is the amount of the solute present in the given amount of solution or the solvent. Why solution or solvent? Keep in mind, here we can use solvent also, we can use solution also. Don't be confused. Why? Because whenever we are mixing this solute in the solvent, it is giving us the solution, but obviously it is in the liquid form, right? So that is also a solution. Clear? And that is also a solvent. If we have mixed sugar and water in it and we got a sugar syrup, so after that when we will add some bitter gourd juice, karela juice in it, so it will not be bitter, it will be bitter, it will taste bitter. Okay, it will taste something different. That means what? Again something new has been added and it has again be changed into a solvent. That is why here there is no difference between the solution and the solvent. Be clear. Now how can we calculate the amount of concentration of the solution then? That is amount of solute by amount of solution or solvent. Be clear. Now for its calculation, there are generally various methods, but we have to discuss only of the two. Okay, first is mass by mass percentage of a solution. That is mass of the solute by mass of the solution into 100. And second is the mass by volume percentage of a solution. That is mass of the solute by volume of the solution into 100. Okay, so let us discuss this one with an example. That let us assume that the mass of the solute, that may be salt, that is 30 grams, and that of solvent, it would be water, that is 70 grams. Okay, so what would be the mass of the solution? That is solute plus solvent, isn't it? So mass of the solution would be 30 plus 70 grams, that is 100 gram. Just we have to put it on the formula, that here it would be 30, here it would be 100, into 100 and 100 cancel out, and we got here 30%. So 30% is the mass by mass percentage of this given amount of solution. Same is with the mass by mass percentage, that we will have to put the mass of the solute, then volume of the solution, and it would be multiplied by 100. That's all for today's class. We will be discussing more on this topic on the next class. Okay. Till the time, stay tuned for the next upcoming video. Thank you.